Welcome, everyone. We are so excited to be here today, and our prelude is Begging for Change by Osborne.
Standing on a corner with this cup in my hand, waiting for you to look me in the eye and really see who I am. I would give my last dollar for you to understand why I'm begging for change. When you look past the hate, 'cause you can't see past your pain, when the words of oppression ricochet through my brain, they wanna take away my freedom and keep it that way. So I'm begging for change. We hold on so tightly to that which has been, we don't even remember what it is we're pushing against. It's the way they've always done it. It's all they can say. Well, I'm begging for change. I'm standing on the corner with this cup in my hand, waiting for you to look me in the eye and really see who I am. I would give my last dollar for you to understand why I'm begging for change. Changing the heart, changing the soul, changing the way that we seem to be headed if we don't change at all. I feel I'm losing my faith.
I'm losing my faith.
That's why I'm begging for change. We carved out a canyon to march towards the light, but some of them wanna fill it up with their hate or respect. So I'm reaching out to you, 'cause you know we can't do this alone. Yes, I'm standing on the corner with this cup in my hand, waiting for you to look me in the eye and really see who I am. I would give my last dollar for you to understand why I'm begging for change. Changing the heart, changing the soul, oh, changing the way that we seem to be headed if we don't change at all. I feel I'm losing my faith.
I'm losing my faith.
That's why I'm begging for change. I feel I'm losing my faith.
I'm losing my faith.
That's why I'm begging for change.
Standing on the corner with this cup in my hand,
Waiting for you to look me in the eye and really see who I am. I would give my last dollar for you to understand why I'm begging for change.
That's Summer Osborne. And much, much more about her. And welcome. I'm Jory Costello, and I just want to welcome you all because all are welcome here at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Fayetteville. That's why we use an acronym. UUFF is a liberal spiritual community promoting personal experience, conscience, and reason bound to neither statement of belief nor creed. Here at the fellowship is our spiritual community of acceptance and of love. We welcome all who seek their personal truths. Wherever you are on your quest, you have a place right here. For those joining us for the first time here in person or on Facebook, please check out the website. It's uufayetteville.org for more information or to sign up to receive the weekly email, which is chock full of really good stuff. So today we are not going to do the usual joys and concerns where you come and drop the stone and have your thoughts shared. But instead, please use the card in the back of your seats to write out your joy and concern and put in the offering basket later this hour. We all have joys and concerns. So just because they won't be shared audibly today, they will be read and responded to. So if you're watching on Facebook, you may write the joys and concerns in the comments there, and we will make sure to save those comments for the pastoral care. Folks with children, a nursery is available, but we love your kids right here in the sanctuary, and all noises and adieus are welcome. And if you feel like you need to leave, you may at any time and come back. So the offering will be at the end, and it is important work, and I'll talk to you more about that. It's because of your generous donations of time, talent, and treasure that we are able to gather here. So we welcome you all, these seekers of truth with the capital T. One's longing for sanctuary, a place to belong, and travelers needing a harbor from the storm. Welcome those who are holding on by a thread, determined breakers of the chains of loneliness and isolation. You push through your fear and your sadness because something told you that you deserve to belong, so welcome home. You give us the gift of wisdom and joy and your curiosity and the trust, and we hold it safe here. So I think now is the time I introduce our special guest. You just heard a snippet of how powerful and how emotional her messages can be. Now, books, they take a time to read and absorb, but songwriters, they have to get that message across in 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Summer Osborne, you might have already guessed. She's an award-winning singer-songwriter, artist, activist, motivational speaker, spiritual collaborator who entertains audiences throughout North America with a fusion of music and spoken word. Her platform is creating space for humanity to heal and grow. Goodness knows we need that. While facilitating the shift she calls spiritual revolution. Now, that's what the email says about it. That's what her bio says about her. That's what, her official credentials. But I know Summer Osborne on a personal level. She is a beloved sister friend of mine and also of Renee's and Rhonda's. RJ. And I'm here to tell you, she is hysterical, and you can tell she's fashionable. She's unpredictable. She is a joy to be with, and she is dedicated to her self-growth. Everything about her, she wants to improve on herself so she can share it with us. Her songs are from personal experience. Her songs are from experiences in her community. She grew up in rural rural farm community in Vandalia, Illinois. We're kind of right across the state line from where I grew up. But I was in the city, and she was in the rural community. And we met her in Eureka Springs after a Big Bad Gina gig. The promoter said, oh, if you're done now, go see... Good catch, Mama. Woo! So we went to see Summer after that. Look at those tech people on it. It's okay, baby. There's a little gated stairwell, if you should need it. Or you can just go to the foyer. So we met Summer in Eureka Springs. After our gig, we went to her gig, and the Love Fest was on. We have been collaborating and singing at different events here and there in different projects and songs for different reasons ever since, it's been 10 years now? 10 or 12 years. So, y'all, it just gives me great pleasure, and I'm so happy that she's back in our neighborhood. Y'all, please give a warm, loving welcome to Summer Osborne.
Oh, Jory. Thanks, Jory. That's the best one I've ever had. Because usually they read off the email, right? They read off the bio. I'm like, you don't know me. You know what I tell you to know. But no, she's right. Jory knows me. That was, I love you. I love you. God dang it. So yeah, those of you who don't know me, my name, I'll say it again because I don't want you to forget. This is Summer Osborne, and most people look at me, they can't tell that I'm a lesbian. I know. They think I'm a dude, right? And then I open my mouth and a few hand gestures later, and they're like, oh, that guy's gay. Well, and, I'm a gay man trapped in a lesbian's body. Kind of. Like, don't try to figure that out. Okay, that's complicated. Just move with me, okay? So, are we good? Sweet. Okay. So, but really, I'm all genders. I am all sexualities. I represent the L, the G, the B, the T, the Q, the I, the LMNOP, everything outside and around and in between. I represent humanity. I do not come to you from a specific, exclusive, organized religion. But I'm full of soul and spirit. And I'm all the colors of the rainbow. Therefore, I am the bright, bright light of love. And so are you, and so are you, so are you, and you, and you, and all of you. Welcome to the Summer Osborne experience. Various names with limitless bounds, precarious beginnings from fruitless grounds. I came from the dust and made such a sound that all the gods and goddesses had to make the trip down to earth to see what they had in me. Ages upon ages, I studied the laws of life and how love could be supported. In one life I was born and raised an unwanted child, and in the next I was aborted. So grace comes swiftly yet undefined. Oh, you can name her, but you cannot assign all the extraordinary places she calls home. Grace comes on her. Oh, grace comes on her. Oh, grace comes on her. Oh, yeah. So listen up closely, 'cause I've got a message for you. I've been given the gift of music because music is what people listen to. We all have a common purpose regardless the hand you've been dealt. You did not come here to fix a broken world. You came here to learn to love yourself. Oh, grace comes swiftly yet undefined. Oh, you can name her, but you cannot assign all the extraordinary places she calls home. Grace comes on her. Oh, grace comes on her. Oh, there are lessons in the calamity. There is beauty in the breaking. There is peace beyond the infirmity. Where there is magic in the making. Strip yourself away from the ways of the world. It isn't all an illusion, my child. They told you you had to suffer to be sure, when you only have to smile. You only have to smile to be sure. You only have to smile to know. Oh, yeah. You only have to smile. You only have to, yeah. Grace comes swiftly yet undefined. Oh, you can name her, but you cannot assign all the extraordinary places she calls home. Grace comes on her. Oh, grace comes on her. Oh, grace comes on her. Oh.
Our chalice today with the words printed on your screen. Friends, Unitarian Universalist fellowships around the country are lighting their chalice with us right now. Let us feel connected. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in truth, and to help one another. Thus do we covenant together. Please, you can open in your hymnals to page number 131, or you can look up onto the screen. This piece is called Love Will Guide Us. It's our opening hymn. All rise, and let's sing about it. Jory will help me with this. David Jory's going to help me on this one. Okay. Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us. I need Jory's mic on, please. Pause. Can we get Jory's mic on? All right, second verse, 1 and 2 and 3. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. Last verse again. Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night. All right. You may be seated. And Summer, at your leisure.
How are you feeling? Great. Look, if we're all standing upright, and getting out of the house, searching for something to make us feel good, we're doing good, okay? I don't know about you, but the pandemic messed me up. We're going on 3 years, and I'm still, like, lamenting about it, right? But look, we're right in the middle of a spiritual revolution. That's my platform, right? It's a balancing act. Such is life. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Physics, you know. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're good. Okay. And I made the commitment for the spiritual revolution, like the ultimate commitment, because I believe that much, that we're in the middle of almost what I would call a conscious evolution. You know, humans really have never done that before. Stay on the mic for Facebook. My nose is running. What you see is what you get, all right? That's all I got. But, spiritual revolution, let me explain what I mean when I say that. Not like a revolt. You know, I'm talking about a turn, revolution, like a turn. We take in new thoughts and ideas about almost everything known to humankind, right? Technology, medicine, industry, education, economics, even politics. We take in these new thoughts and ideas as time goes on. The one thing we still look at archaically is religion or our spirituality. Spirit, from the Latin spiritus, to breathe. What gives you breath? To expand and to release. Our most modern transportation uses a standard gauge or track width, okay? It's used as an American standard because the British moved over here and built railways, and it was used as a British standard. And it was adopted as a British standard because they already had the carriage tooling to make that axle size. And they used that axle size for their carriages to fit the grooves that were already in the roads. Well, British roads used to be were once Roman roads, so chariots made those grooves. So our most modern transportation cannot escape what was perfect for two horses, right, that carried chariots. Just like our thinking is shaped by old thoughts. We keep running down millennia-old ruts without even realizing that the reason for the rule has changed. A spiritual revolution is urging us to reassess everything we thought we already knew. There is no binary to anything. This world is not black and white. It's not even gray. This world is full spectrum color. So what you thought you knew, why don't you just try it again? Try again. We are here to, at this time, evolving to reassess everything we thought we already knew. Right and wrong, good and bad, these are all words made up by people that we attach qualities to. Qualities that change over time and space, from culture to culture, from generation to generation. And at some point, we have to realize that truth is fluid. You know, I could just say whatever the hell I want, or I could shut my mouth. Mama said, if it ain't nice, it's a better idea to just think twice. It's your First Amendment, girl, but don't wear it out. It's the acquisition to the proposition built up of the politics and pieces of old-time religion. And no offense, but there's no sense in calling it God. When they call the church a building, the consequence of filling it up with people willing to buy up what they're selling is you won't get no Jesus at all. Duh, you won't get no Jesus at all. We need an evolution, revolution for the love of love. They knew Constitution, a proclamation for emancipation from the self-imposed hell of an ego-driven nation. I will reach out and touch you even when they tell me not to, 'cause I believe when push comes to shove, We all suffer from a lack of real love. And I watch us do the same things over and over again. Make a mess of it. Mama said, what's the probable cause? Stop beating your head against that wall. It's not about where you fell, it's where you slipped. And the problematic issue with dogmatic inquisition is it makes you rigid to the level already given. So your projections are misassigned and self-fulfilled. When the spell that you've been under crashes with a thunder, you stop to look around and it makes you wonder, why have you been running uphill? Oh, and why do you keep running uphill? We needed evolution, revolution for the love of love, a new constitution, a proclamation for emancipation of the self-imposed hell of an ego-driven nation. I will reach out and touch you even when they tell me not to, 'cause I believe when push comes to shove, we all suffer from a lack of real love. Yeah. Where am I? It's fine. Love is patient, love is kind, does not judge, it is not blind. I was lost, but now I see real love comes from me. We need an revolution for the love of love, a new constitution, a proclamation for emancipation from the self-imposed hell of an ego-driven nation. I will reach out and touch you even when they tell me not to, 'cause I believe when push comes to shove, we all suffer from a lack of real love. Yeah. Thank you. Look, I'm already sweating. I sweat breathing. No, that's a good sign. Yeah. It means I'm doing it right. Make myself sweat. So part of the issue with moving through an evolution, moving through a revolution, is change, right? And change can be, we will say, challenging, right? But you and I both know it's a crap show, right? It's a circus. It's a gall-dang circus. That's what change is. That's what transition is. I want you to know, though, that there is a space, small sliver of space, where the egg is no longer considered an egg, but it's not quite yet considered a chick, okay? Where the plant, like the seed, is no longer considered a seed per se, but it's not quite yet a full-on plant, right? We call that space the void. We call it the liminal, because it's something we can't quite wrap our minds around. But what's really happening in that space is splitting and spilling, and atoms are fusing, and molecules are fusing, and cells are dividing. There's an explosion of electricity and energy. What's actually happening in that space is chaos. The chaos of complete transformation. What we can't wrap our minds around is that there is a divine order to that chaos. right? And if we could pull back and see the entire picture, we might understand that better. We might know that. But most of the time, we're just like in it, right? We're just in it, and we don't remember that, or we can't feel that, or we can't see that. But it's part of the process. That chaos is part of the process. There's a type of pain that issues warning, right? Telling you there's something wrong. And then there's the kind of pain that ushers in a new life, right? The labor pains of a new birth. That kind of pain is a part of the process. It's necessary to give birth to something new. And so what does this mean in the midst of our change? Like, don't just sit there and rest on your laurels. Like, I don't even know what laurels are. Okay? I hear that, and I'm pretty sure we're not supposed to rest on them. It only means, like, we need to still, get your feet on the street, right? The letters you need to write still represent who you are and where we want to go. It just means, like, get right with Jesus. Align your chakras. Squeegee your third eye. It means get your poop in a group before you go out slaying dragons, right? Because we are all walking around with double-edged swords. And we have yet to consider reassessing everything we thought we already knew. This is the time to be mindful, to be present, unlike you ever have been before. Look, I thought I had that stuff figured out. Like, don't ever think you have stuff figured out, one. Don't. Just don't. All right, we are observers. We're all souls in earth suits trying to figure out this human experience. And I thought I had some stuff figured out, and I have learned. So I'm just so cute. And I'm ADD also. I don't even remember what I was just saying. Yeah, we're all just souls in earth suits trying to figure out this human experience, right? Right? And you little ones, you're the ones who got it going on, okay? You know where it's at. I am so excited about the Gen Z is the F around and find out generation. Like, they're like, we don't take the streets, we take the internet. That's what they do. And I'm like, why didn't we think of that? Yeah? Because I'm here for it, okay? I am here for it. But the purpose is, the bottom line is, be still and know that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, right? It's not that we have to search to find our yellow brick road. It's that you'll look back and realize you've been on it all along. Lying on my back, my pillows at my feet, it seems my head is in the wrong place if I'm trying to sleep. I figure if I stay this way, I'll float into another day, and the separateness of yesterday will cease to be the back and forth of then and now. It convolutes my mind. I know that I will get there if I just let go of time. But time is an illusion that just gives us excuses not to try. Oh, be still and know you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Be still and know if you weren't supposed to, then you wouldn't be. And what could have been really couldn't have, 'cause what is just is, you can't change that. Be still, be still, and know People come and people go like colored strands of yarn. In and out, they weave about without much regard for the role they play in destiny. We're so much bigger than we see. It's a never-ending tapestry that comes to life. It's easier for me to love without explaining why I do it, 'cause my heart defines love as undefined, and limits just don't represent the complicated picture it's designed. Oh, be still and know you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Be still and know if you weren't supposed to, then you wouldn't be. And what could have been really couldn't have, 'cause what is just is. You can't change that. Be still. Be still and know. Just like a melody, it soothes and burns, but in between the notes, the timing is always the same. So you're better off just listening. Enjoy the song's entirety, and the symmetry will just fall into place. The symmetry will just fall into place. The symmetry will just fall into place. Be still and know that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Be still and know if you weren't supposed to, then you wouldn't be. And what could have been really couldn't have, 'cause what is just is. You can't change that. Be still. Be still and know. So, because, okay, the biggest part I'm learning, actually, right now, to each his own, whatever, where you are on your journey. But I'm going to tell you, this is going to be an important part. When we were born into this life, we weren't given an instruction manual on how to navigate it, right? And let's be honest, our parents we didn't come with a booklet for our parents either. Right? And they could screw it up like it was their job. Mm-hmm. We come into this world with no experience, no knowledge of it. We just are here, right? And we're taught how to be human by all the people and things and events and experiences around us. Our families and our churches and school and the internet and all of those things. That is what's teaching us how to be human. And so we're trying to figure out how this all works. We're trying to connect A to B to C, figure out our own cause and effect, but from a 2 or 3 or 4 or 5-year-old's perspective. That's how young we start. That's how, when we do that, thus creating this whole foundation of how we see ourselves and how we see our place in this world. And so now we have this entire planet full of generations of people who view their world through a set of core beliefs that are faulty. So a spiritual revolution is also urging us to unlearn some things. It's time to unlearn some things. Unlearn that the measure of love is loss. Unlearn that your test scores measure your worth. Unlearn that feeling that says no doesn't always mean no. Sometimes it just means scared. Scared doesn't mean absolutely not. Sometimes we have to feel the fear and do it anyway. We feel the fear and do it anyway. That uncomfortable means get back. Sometimes, all the time, change is uncomfortable. Sometimes we have to learn how to be comfortable with being uncomfortable for a while. Unlearn shame. Unlearn blame. Because the truth is, when you were born into this life, you contained the potential of the entire spectrum. Even as you sit here now, it's totally fine. Don't you worry about it. I was that one dropping stuff in church. Don't you worry. I'm here for you. Even as you sit here now, you hold the potential of the entire spectrum. It's just that a long, long time ago, someone told you otherwise, and you believed them. Unlearn the limitations that we are so conditioned to believe. And please, don't forget to be kind to yourself. This one's a wild one. Forget what they told you. Forget what they said. Forget all the lies and the stories that you make up in your head. 'Cause it ain't a question of things working out. Everything will unfold as it does, without a doubt. But you've survived your life up to this point. Every obstacle and disappointment. So don't try to pretend that this is the end. You are so much more than you give yourself credit for. So take it easy, baby. It's okay. Everything's a cycle, and this too shall pass away. So do what you can for the moment, but your worrying won't help. Don't forget to be kind to yourself. Don't forget to be kind to yourself. Yes. Maybe you're tired, maybe you're lost, maybe you're worried about the future or the past for what it cost. But did you know you have all that you need? Every tool required to set yourself free. If you want it, go get it. The time is now. You only take what you allow. So don't try to pretend that this is the end. You are so much more than you give yourself credit for. So take it easy, baby. It's okay. Everything's a cycle, and this too shall pass away. So do what you can for the moment, but your worrying won't help. dig a new well when the water runs dry. Balance. That is what you're aiming for. Yes. So take it easy, baby. It's okay. Everything's a cycle, and this too shall pass away. So do what you can for the moment, but you're very won't help. Don't forget to be kind to yourself. So don't forget to be kind to yourself. That's all it takes. So a Japanese scientist, Dr. Masaru Emoto, do you know who I'm talking about? Yeah. Love that. That's why I love you churches. Like, I don't have to fight so hard to get you to get it. Like, you already get it. Like, let's. Whew. So Dr. Masaru performed an experiment with water, and he took samples from rivers and lakes and oceans and tap water and bottled water, and then he put them in two groups. The experiment, split them into two groups. One group he attached loving words to the specimens, and the other half he attached hateful words. And then he froze the water and he looked at it under a microscope. And for every single sample with loving words attached, they froze into beautiful symmetrical crystals. And for every single sample that had hateful words attached, they froze into ugly blobs of crap. Every time. Time after time after time after time. And it makes me wonder, if our bodies are 70% water, you do the math. Or science, as it were. What is our thoughts and our words and our doing to ourselves and each other on a biological molecular level? I mean, it's kind of frightening if you think about it, depending on where a lot of you, the words you hear or the thoughts you think, right? So I wrote a song, like I do. It's kind of my job, right? But it's meant to be sung together, so you're going to sing it with me.
This is our closing hymn.
This is our closing hymn. Are you ready?
Wait,
okay, because
wait.
It's very.
Wait.
I need. Yeah.
Everybody, let's all rise.
Oh, yes.
Let's all rise. And Summer,
Can
I want you to know that we as a church have done this song before a few times.
Oh, that's right.
And so those of you that are UUFF, have y'all been here if you've been here for a while, if you know this song, please sing it out so that Summer can hear her song being sung back to her, because that's a pretty cool feeling.
And I might cry. Okay, and that's okay. That happens a lot these days for me. I just cry all the time. So, thank you. RJ always has my back. She's got me taken care of. Right, so I'm just like, I don't even have to tell you. Like, and look, they're right. There are the words. But when you sing this song, direct the intention to yourself, okay? This song is meant to heal you. And I can't wait to hear you sing it to me. I'm going to throw up. No, don't. I'm just kidding. I will not. I am here I am whole as I am. Oh my goodness. I am saved. I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free. I'm as perfect as can be. I am here. I am whole as I am. I'm smiling so hard that my gums are gonna dry out and my lips are gonna stick. I can't stop. It's gonna hurt. Hold on. No. I don't even remember the words.
Nothing can. Look at the screen behind you.
Oh, look. Oh my God. Nothing can illuminate the darkness like a serenade. Nothing can make peace like a song. We've got a ways to go, but then we're closer than we've ever been. So let's walk together on and on. I love you. I am here. I am whole as I am. I am saved. I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free. I'm as perfect as can be. I am here. I am whole as I am. I propose a family that looks a lot like you and me, including all the people that we love. We will take a photograph of everybody as they laugh, put it in a book entitled Love. I am here. I am whole as I am. I am saved. I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free. I'm as perfect as can be. I am here. I am whole as I am. May seem just like a song, may seem just like a thought, but it soon will take hold and become a truth that's taught for generation
And generation,
generation
generation,
generation.
generation.
I am here. I am whole as I am. I am saved. I am loved as I am. Oh, just as I am. I am grateful and I'm free. I'm as perfect as can be. I am here. I am whole as I am. One more time, okay? Can we do it one more time? I am here. I am whole as I am. I am saved. I am loved as I am. Oh, just as I am. I am grateful and I'm free. I'm so grateful. I'm as perfect as can There's nothing wrong with me. I am here. I am whole as I am. Oh, just as I am. I am here. I am whole as I am. Holy wow. Thank you so much. You don't even know. You don't even know what that does to me. You don't even know what that does to me.
Have a seat.
You know what that does.
I do. We are going to quickly move through our offering and announcements. Yes. Let's extinguish our chalice with the words printed on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Closing words from you.
Sure, right, yeah. I want the song. Right. Yeah, we're good. Okay, I got. Yeah, you got it. So basically, bottom line, change is happening, whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, whether or not you approve. One of two things will happen. You'll either walk with it mindfully, or you will be dragged. Okay? We have to understand that we don't have to agree on all the details in order to be moving in the same direction. Do not confuse unity with uniformity. And the only control we have in the way this whole thing goes, because if we want to, if we want to tip the scales in favor of life itself, right? Our control in the way this whole thing goes lies in your power of choice, personal choice. Will you be a light, or will you be a vacuum? I choose light. And I hope that you do too. I mean, that's why you're here, right? You don't come to a Unitarian Universalist church because you're afraid of change. That's right. Like, that's not how that works. That's right. So, go out and be awesome, dudes.
So it's our postlude now, and you may get up and mill around and move about, but we are going to sing As I Am one more time.
Because why wouldn't we? I am here. I am whole. Talk amongst yourselves. As I am. I'll give you a topic. I said, talk amongst yourselves. Oh, thank you. I am loved as I am. I am grateful and I'm free. I'm as perfect as can be. I am here. I am whole as I am. As I am. I didn't know if that was in the verse or not. Ginger Doss, come up here and sing this song with me. Oh, thank you. Your kids are freaking beautiful. I am great. I'm doing a job. And I'm free. Bye, guys. I'm as perfect as can be. I am here. I am whole as I am. I know. You do the melody. I'll do the low. I live down
I'll
there.
do the melody. I am here. I am whole as I am. I am saved. I am loved as I am. I'm as perfect as can be. I am here. I am whole as I am.
Yeah, it's like, I don't ever do that. I am here.
I am